Hey everybody, just thought I'd do a quick video here on, well, a video, not so much quick, on some tactica and taking out some Chaos Space Marine units. And by that I mean killing them when you're facing them. And for the most part, everything's pretty standard. Even the ones I'm going to talk about are standard. But out of all the Cult Marines, there are two types that are really make it hard to kill them than others standardly. I mean, yes, the Emperor's Children's Noise Marines have higher initiative, but aside from that, and their sonic weaponry, you can still deal with them by shooting at them normally. Like, they don't have anything that enhances their survivability, really, as opposed to the Plague Marines and the Thousand Suns Marines. So we'll talk about the Plague Marines in this video and the Thousand Suns in another video. Alright, so what makes the Plague Marines so strong? When you give an icon of Nurgle to any squad, it increases their toughness. Well, any squad that can take icons. Well, aside from having the increased toughness, they also have Feel No Pain and are fearless. So, I mean, a higher toughness is nice in general on Havocs or on what's they called, Terminators and Chaos Space Marine squads. But it's an icon bearer you need, essentially. And he can die, and he can lose the effects. And it just makes them tougher, which is still nice, don't get me wrong. It is very nice. But these guys are fearless Plague Marines, so, and they also have Feel No Pain, which really is the clincher here. The combination of Toughness 5, Feel No Pain, and Fearless is what makes them stand in their own right. And they're also probably the second most popular, or the most popular, tied with Khorne Berserkers for Cult Marines played. I normally see Khorne Berserkers and these guys fielded the most out of the 4 Cult Marines. So we all know how to deal with high toughness. You just have a high strength weapon. And we know how to deal with Feel No Pain. Rending, AP2 or AP1, weapons that would cause instant deaths will double their strength, double their toughness. Although they have a base toughness of 4, so strength 8 will be the strength you need to bypass Feel No Pain. Power weapons, things that ignore invuln saves. Things that ignore saves, I mean not invuln saves. So like power weapons, monsters, creatures, stuff like that. Pretty much if you deny them a save in close combat, deny them an armor save, you deny them Feel No Pain as well. That's not necessarily the case in shooting, because you can have some AP3 weaponry that isn't double their toughness, so they still can get Feel No Pain. But you're forcing 1 save as opposed to 2. So, what would you expect to see? Well, you're going to see mostly mechanized Nurgle lists. Most because mechanized become very popular in 5th edition with the increased survivability of vehicles, and because to have them walk across the borders is stupid. You can do it, but you should have some other vehicles backing them up. Now I know there's some fluff about them not using their vehicles, being more foot slogging, but they still use their rhinos. And the vehicles that they pretty much abandoned are now possessed by Nurglings, so they can still be fielded as possessed vehicles. And they still use Land Raiders. So like the Land Raider and the Rhino are still pretty much in use by them, like a lot. And then if you want to represent the other ones, you can make them possessed if you want to. And represent it that way, if you want to go for a fluff of a Death Guard Plague Marine army. But you can also just play any Plagued Marine army. It doesn't have to be Death Guard. You can be the Cleaved, or whatever they call the other ones, and you get the idea. Excuse me. So, now that we know how to bypass it and what you might see, what are you going to do? Well, you got to keep in mind that they are troops, so they're scoring. So, troop killing, especially these guys, is a must, because Plague Marines cost more points than standard troops, and than the generic Chaos Space Marines as well. So they're more expensive, therefore there'll be less of them in a Plague Marine army, or less squads. You get the idea. They'll probably have it supported by either being mechanized, or maybe a Predator or Vindicator type of vehicle being there, either 1 or 2. Or maybe you'll get some Obliterators, or maybe you'll get a Demon Prince, or some type of beefed up Chaos Lord. You get the idea. You might see a Chaos Sorcerer, more often than not I see Nurgle fielded with Demon Princes or some type of beefed up Chaos Lord, if not Typhus himself. So pretty much, I'm not going to go into how to take out an entire Death Guard army. I'm just focusing on the Plague Marine troop choice. So you have to keep in mind the fact that you got to deal with the rest of the army. You shouldn't just purely focus on the Plague Marines. I mean, yes, you'll kill them and maybe, you know, deny them the ability to claim objectives if you're lucky and kill all of them. But you're going to have the rest of the army to deal with, and they're going to pick you apart while you're dealing with one aspect of it. So let's think about some things you need. Strength and AP. So based on that, the Tau actually have overall the best chance in the shooting phase of dealing with them. And why is that? Well, they have AP2 weapons, they have plasma rifles you can put on your XV8s and jump around and shoot and jump back into cover and just pick them off that way. Aside from that, your basic weapon is strength 5, meaning you can wound them with 4s. Now, everybody sometimes forgets about the basic weapon, the bolt gun, the last gun, etc., etc. These guns win you the games. These guns deal with infantry the most. I mean, you have heavy weapons and special weapons out there, but these guns are what win you the game. And the Plague Marine strength is that they make these guns less effective against them. The Tau, on the other hand, have a weapon that will be as effective against them as a bolt gun against a normal Space Marine. Normally they have the advantage of higher strength, now they have an unequal playing field with the toughness, so they can still wound on 4s. And because of this, and the higher range that the pulse rifle starts with, you can start, you know, blowing up their vehicles and then, or picking them off from a distance before they get too close. Hopefully you blow the vehicle and you can start laying into them. Yes, they're going to get the armor save, and yes, they're going to get the fatal pain save against that, but you have longer range, higher strength weaponry that can start picking them off at a distance. So that, combined with your other weapons that you have that will deny them fatal pain or make it easier to wound them, will help you a lot. The Imperium has a wide variety of units that can select melted guns, plasma guns, stuff like that. Sisters of Battle have it. The only people who don't really have that in shooting would be the Grey Knights, but the Grey Knights have strength 6 in close combat, so they can wound them easier, and they have strength 6 power weapons that go ahead initiative, so they can do more wounds that way as well. So they would be more the assaulting type to deal with it. Eldar Harlequins and Howling Banshees, if you doom it, and or whatnot, could also be pretty decent against them in close combat. Dark Eldar have poison power weapons, and anything that makes you wound on 4s or better is great. So we have that. One thing that is good also to go back to the Imperium is Demolisher Cannons. Demolisher Cannons are large blast templates, strength 10, AP2. They just eat through Plague Marines. You get Plague Marines out in the open or in cover even, and you fire it, yeah, and you cover half of them statistically will make their cover save, but the other half of those flat out die. And then if they're not in cover and you get a good Demolisher Cannon volley off on them, or just one essentially, you could wipe out an entire squad, especially if they just pop their rhinos, so they're nice bunched up. Barring that, the Demolisher Cannon also will pretty much be pretty effective against most things. I mean, yes, you have the scatter to worry about, but ballistic skill, subtracting the distance for scatter helps a lot in this situation. Things that are assault heavy like Orcs and Tyranids will just assaulting it would probably help them the most. I mean, Gene Steals do good, Knobs with Power Claws would do fine. I mean, it's just things you have to think about. These guys are tough. They're great at ignoring essentially half of your shooting if you break it down into 2 halves. The high strength and the rapid firing weapons. The generic weapons being the rapid fire ones. So hope that helps. Very basic tactical at how to deal with Plague Marines. Pretty much shooting them with high strength or shooting them a lot, you'll eventually wear them down. But maximize, like Meltas being popular will work against them. But don't forget to also spend time dealing with the rest of their army, or else you'll be picked apart by their heavy weapons, like by their Vindicators or whatnot, whatever they're fielding. So that's pretty much it. The next video will be 1,000 Suns for how to deal with them. So until next time, take it easy.